So the sum of three consecutive integers is equal to their product. How many such possibilities are there? So which means that if you take the sum of the any three consecutive numbers, that is equal to product of the three numbers, product of the three consecutive numbers which we take that, right. So by the way, consecutive numbers, so we'll have a topic called that averages. In the averages topic I'll explain that, so what are the immediate things you have to do for consecutive numbers when consecutive words are given. And see, so in mathematics there is a certain phrases that whenever you see that phrase like consecutive numbers, anything like related to it, then immediately, so normally we do understand by some long ways, right. For us, though, we have the different long ways, like, so we can have the long ways of Telugu, English, Hindi, and similarly it is a mathematical long ways. So when you see particular word, then immediately you can convert into that long ways, mathematical long ways, which means that you represent that same long ways in terms of mathematics. Mathematics means that numbers, right, consecutive numbers, right. So earlier for one problem we did that, see, each row and each column should be same. Okay, so then immediately what is the logic we need to take? So already we did one sum related to it, right. So whenever the number of rows and number of columns are same, then obviously the final number must be what? A perfect square. So likewise, so when there are some certain phrases, then immediately we'll have to take a mathematical meaning of it. And similarly, when you have that variables of x, y, z or x, y, then immediately we have to write it in the form of 10x plus y or 100x plus 10y plus z. Similarly, so when you see the three consecutive words or any number of consecutive integers, as of now I will tell you only for this problem, and when you are doing the averages problem I will explain it in detail. So first you tell me that how do you take that the three consecutive numbers, 1 plus 2 plus 3, okay, then 1 plus 2 plus 3 is one number, 1 into 2 into 3, so is it one pair, is it the only possibility? Okay, minus 1 minus 2 minus 3, so minus 1 into minus 2 into minus 3, good. And next, only two combinations. So this is the numbers when you assume that, when you take the numbers. But before that, you see this one, this is related to the consecutive integers. Generally we take the values of x or a plus 1, a plus 2 consecutive numbers, but don't take it in that way. So when you have the consecutive numbers, three consecutive numbers, let's say that, suppose if you take that a, so you take the previous number, the next number. Why? Because, so if you suppose to consider the five numbers, let's say that a minus 2, you consider the numbers a plus 1, a plus 2, okay. So you can consider the numbers a or a plus 1, a plus 2, a plus 3, a plus 4. But why we are considering in this way? Because both of them are correct. But why we are considering? Because see, the sum, when you are taking the sum, what happens is the simplification will be easy. If you take the sum of these numbers, plus 1 minus 1 get cancelled, plus 2 minus 2 get cancelled, only the variables will be left. And similarly a minus 1, a plus 1, which means that only variables will be left when you take the sum. That's why when consecutive word is given, then immediately you take this values like this, when you assume the values like this. Okay, so here three consecutive numbers means that, let's say that a minus 1, a plus 1. The three consecutive numbers are a minus 1, a plus 1. So these are three consecutive numbers, right? Consecutive numbers means that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sequence, three back to back numbers. A minus 1, a plus 1. So what is the condition? The sum of the three consecutive numbers. Sum means that what? 3a. Here minus 1 plus 1 get cancelled, which means that it is left with only 3a. Is equal to what? Product of their numbers is equal to their product. Product means that what? A minus 1 into a plus 1. Can I write it like this? A into a minus 1 into a plus 1. Okay. So 3a is equal to what? A into, so now you see that a minus 1 into a plus 1 means that, so you know a plus b into a minus b, right? So what is the formula? A square minus b square. So which means that a square minus 1. 3a is equal to, of course you can cancel out, but before that you write this one, a cube minus a. So you remember one point here. If a quadratic equation is there, so which means that a square plus a or x square plus whatever it may be, which means that finally you have two values or two roots for this solution. If the equation is starting with a square plus 2a plus 1, then the number of possible values for a is what? 2. And similarly, if I write the values, any values, if the maximum power is 3 in that expression, then the final possible values is what? 3. And similarly, if you have that a power 4, which means that the number of values should be 4. And similarly, when you are writing this one, Okay, you can cancel out here, but thing is, you remember that you must have that, since a cube we got, a cube minus a, so this expression should have that a value should be 3. Now you can simplify it. A cube is equal to what? So minus a, when you take it to the other side, 4a. A get cancelled, it becomes what? A square. So a square value is equal to 4 means that a value is equal to what? It's not 1, 2. So it's plus or minus 2. Okay. So square root of any number is plus or minus. You take the two values. A square is 4 means that a value is what? Plus or minus 2. Suppose if a square is equal to 9, then a value is equal to what? Plus or minus 3. Okay. So a value is what? Plus or minus 2 means that you got a is equal to plus 2. What are the possible values of a? Plus 2, minus 2 and also 0, because here he mentioned that. So we have the equation 3 a cube, which means that we should have the 3 solution. So only we got the 2 solutions, so which means that the other number should be 0. Okay. So there only we can write that. So here a cube means that only 3 possibilities, because we are finding out these values only. 3 means that. So now you can take that what are the possible. Suppose in the problem, if he is asking for the different combinations, so what are the different possibilities? A value we got what? A value is 0, 1, a is equal to what? 2, a is equal to minus 2. Suppose if I take this condition 0, 0 minus 1 is what? Minus 1, and 0, 0 plus 1 is what? 1. So minus 1, 0, 1 is one possibility, and if you take that a is equal to 2, 2 minus 1 is what? 1, 2, 2 plus 1 is what? 3. So 1, 2, 3 is one possibility. Minus 2, if you take that a is equal to minus 2, so minus 3, minus 2, minus 1. This is another possibility, which means that how many possibilities are there? 3 possibilities. Okay. So you can check the 3, sum of the 3 consecutive. So 0, when you multiply, again we will get 0. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is what? 6. 1 into 2 into 3, 6. Minus 3 minus 2 minus 1 is what? Minus 6. Again if you multiply minus 3 into minus 2 into minus 1, minus 6. Okay. So you don't need to do all these things. So maximum here a cube value we got, so which means that we think logically, so a will get the 3 values, right? A will get the 3 values, so which means that obviously the answer should be 3. If we get an equation as power 4, we will have that 4 solutions. Okay. So how many such possibilities are there? Only 3. So whenever consecutive word is given, so then we will take the numbers in this a minus 1, a plus 1, so that we can cancel out the numbers. Okay. Consecutive numbers. Of course this concept will be discussed in the averages topic also. Try to understand every logic behind why we are taking in such way, because as I already mentioned that you are not preparing for SI constables. Repeatedly I am saying that. So this exam is almost all on with respect to the CAT standards. Some of the questions, especially from the number systems and permutations and combination, when you see that, that's why most of the people felt it difficult. Not all the problems, if not, so few problems are definitely on level with CAT and GRE questions. So don't ask me for the shortcuts. If there are any shortcuts, I'll certainly give you the shortcuts, but shortcuts don't work out for civils exam. Let's go to the next problem. This is done yesterday, right? Similar problem. So probably that's 2022 and 23, this one. So if you do the practice, if you practice the problems from 2020, so application based questions will be repeated, same model questions also. Almost 10 to 15 questions guaranteed will be asked from 2020 to 2023. Sure. So that's why don't miss even one problem from the last 4 years. So we'll maximum cover that 90% of the problem from the last 4 years. And by the way, now you tell me that this similar problem we did, right? 85 into 87, 89, 91, 95, 96. So what is the remainder we'll get? I told you 2 logics in the last classes. So one is you can cut these numbers if there is anything we can cut. See this 425 is and then 4 2s are 4 4s, right? And then 519 is 5 5s, 5 17s. So I told you in the last class that if we left with nothing in the denominator part, okay, so what is the remainder? 0. So remainder is 0. So this is one logic. So 0, anyways answer is 0. Another logic is what? When we are dividing with 100. So when we are dividing with 10, The remainder is what? Last digit. When we are dividing with 100, the last 2 digits are our answer. So when we are dividing with 1000, the last 3 digits are the remainder. So we are dividing with 100 means that what? The last 2 digits are our answer. So first you find out the unit digit. Unit digit means that only we take that when you are finding out the unit digit of the numbers, only we will take that unit digit, right? 5 into 7 means that 35, 5 9s are 45 means that again 5, 5 into 1 is what? Again 5, 5 into 5 means that again 5, 5 into 6 means that what? 30, 30 means that it ends with what? 0. Okay, so anyways the last digit is 0 means that only one such option is there. So answer is what? First option. Okay, these two models already we did in the last class. Yeah, now note down this one. For this purely logic should be applied. It's a difficult question, slightly difficult question. If A, B, C and D, E for both 3-digit numbers such that A plus B, A, B, C, D, E and F are distinct means that different non-zero digits means that A, B, C, D, E, F, all the digits are non-zero digits, which means that you should not use 0 as one of the digits for A, B, C, D, E, F. And then if you add A, B, C plus D, E, F, so we'll get the sum is 1, 1, 1, 1. Then what is the value of A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F? We are adding the two numbers like A, B, C, D, E, F. The logic which we are applying for this problem is related to addition. If you know the complete concept of addition, then we can do this problem. So here he is saying that A, B, C, D, E and F are non-zero digits. Non-zero digits means that digit must not be 0. And you can take the digits means that what? So when the word digit is given, which means that what? 0 to 9. 0 to 9 are called digits. Okay. Anyways, the A, B, C, D, E, F value should be non-zero digit, which means that what? You cannot take 0. So you can take that, you can take the digits from 1 to 9, any digits, right? So A, B, C, and also he is saying that so distinct digits, which means that all the digits are different. A, B, C, D, E, F, which means that you should not repeat the same digit again. Then what are the value? What is the sum of the A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F, right? So when we do addition, how do we take the addition? First we go from right to left. Okay, we'll take the addition in this way. So from right side to left side. Now C plus F 1. So now you think logically. So what could be the numbers? Just randomly you choose some numbers. Anyways, by what two numbers if we add that, we'll get 1. If you want to get that purely 1, then one of the digits should be 0 only, right? So but he clearly mentioned that the digit should not be non-zero, right? Which means that I can't take this number as purely 1. So maybe, so we can take that one more number. So which means that obviously it can be what? 11 only. So this number must be 11. So which means that when you add C plus F, we'll get 11. You can take that any digits except 1 if you want to check that. Suppose if I take that 1, anyway I can't take 0, right? So if I take that 1, obviously this number must be what? 10. So it's not possible. So you can take that 2. 2 plus 9, 11. So 3 plus 8, 11. 4 plus 7, so 11. Any number you can take that. Even if you take the largest single digit number. If I take that C 9, then obviously 2. So this complete number C plus, I write here, C plus F should be what? C plus F should be completely, if I add these two numbers, two digits, I should get that 11 only, right? Is it clear to everyone? And now 1 is carry forward. Now we come to this one. If I add that 1 plus B plus E, then I need to get 1, right? You know the normal addition, right? So 1 plus B plus E should be 1. Okay, again, I can't take the 0 at these places, which means that again I should have only 11, I will get 11 only. This sum must be 11 only. So by the way, already, so 1 is carry forwarded from here. So which means that B plus E value should be what? 10 only. So B plus E must be what? 10, right? Now coming to this one again. So we have left with these two digits, 11. We finally left with what? 11. So 1 is already carry forward, which means that a plus d value must be what? 10. So 1 is already there, means that a plus d must be what? 10 only. Now what is the question? So a plus b plus c plus d plus e plus f value is how much? So a plus b plus c plus d plus e plus f means that it is nothing but sum of all the numbers, right? What is the sum of all the numbers? A plus b plus c plus d plus e plus f means that we simply adding the numbers. 10 plus 10 is 20, 20 plus 1, 11 is what? 31. So answer is what? 31. Okay. There is no specific concept for this one. Only thing is, if you thoroughly know that what we are actually doing in the sum. So when we are adding the numbers, how we add the numbers. That's what that's. There is only possibility of 11. So we don't get 21 and 31 or 41. You remember that when you are adding the two numbers, you can take that any number. Even if you are adding, if you take the largest numbers, largest digit means that 9 only. Even if you add that 9 plus 9, you get 18. So we don't get the carry forward number is 2, 3 or 4. Because we are adding only two numbers. If you add one more number, then probably you will get the 2, 3, 4. But when you are adding that only two numbers, only the carry forward number is what? 1 only. Right? So answer is 31. Do you want me to explain again? Okay, so A, B, C, D, E, F. C plus F should be what? 1 means that, so you can, what is the only possibility you have, that you can choose that one of the digits should be 0. 0 plus 1 only, the possibility is 1. Anyways, we have the condition that the digit should not be non-zero. So obviously 11 should be taken. So when you take the 11, C plus F value is equal to what? 11 only we get. 11 means that 1 must be carried forward to the previous number. So now 1 plus B plus E should be, again we don't get 1, because again in order to get 1, so we'll have to make one of these values 0. So that's why again this sum should be what? 11. So 11, which means that 1 plus B plus E should be 11. Already 1 is there, means that B plus E value is what? 10. So 10 plus 1 will become 11. So that's why we take B plus C value is 10. Now 1 is again carry forward. 1 plus A plus D, now the number is equal to what? 11. So already 1 is there, means that A plus D is 10. So A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F value is 31. Yeah, this one is difficult. Let's still try it. So when is it possible? A ratio when it will be possible to get a minimum value, minimum most possible value. Okay. So suppose if numerator and denominator, if the denominator is more than the numerator, if the numerator is more than the denominator, then obviously we will get that more value. So 2 by 1 or 1 by 2. Suppose let's take an example, 2 by 1 and 1 by 2. Which is the minimum value out of these two? 1 by 2. Okay. And similarly, if you take that 3 by 2 and 2 by 3. Okay. So which is the minimum value? 2 by 3. So in order to make a ratio is nothing but a fraction, right? Ratio or fraction both are same. In order to make a ratio or a fraction minimum possible value, obviously the numerator value is less than the denominator value, which means that numerator value is minimum value, numerator must be minimum value, and denominator value must be what? Maximum value. Okay, we'll have to, in order to take this value, this complete ratio part is minimum possible value. So you can see some examples, 1 by 2, 2 by 1. So out of these two numbers, 1 by 2 is the only least number. 2 by 3, 3 by 2 means that 2 by 3 is the least number between the two numbers. So which means that, so when a ratio or a fraction should be minimum. So when the numerator part is less than the denominator, so which means that this value has to be minimum value, this value has to be maximum value. Now coming back to this one, so how do you find out the minimum possible value? You think logically for x value, which value could be taken for x, right? So x digits only we are taking, anyway we can't take 0. So I told you already that 0 should not be at the beginning of the numbers. So obviously the number should be possible from 1 to 9. Okay, so if I take that 1, then the number should be 100. So the number should be around, so approximately 100 to 200 between. Okay, 100 to 199 the range. If I take that 2, the number should be what? The final number after adding y and z value. Y and z value can be any number. If I take x value is equal to 2, 200 to 299 range. X value 3 means that 300. What is my condition? My condition is the whole value should be minimum value. Then you tell me that which value could be the possible value of x. 1 only, right? So only if I place that x is equal to 1, then only I will get this as the minimum possible value. So x value is 1. And if you take the other numbers, what happens is even 0, 2. For completely getting the minimum value, only one number has to be minimum. The rest of the numbers should be taken as the maximum digit. Okay. So you can try this. Let me check that. So you take that y is equal to 9 and z is equal to 9. So suppose if I take that x, y, z value is equal to 199. So the number is 199 and digit sum is what? 1 plus 9 plus 9. So which means that what? 19. What is the value we will get? Some 10 point something, right? Suppose if I take that x value 1, so y value anyway we can take that 0. Suppose if you take that z value, if you take that 1, okay. So if you substitute the value, x, y, z value is what? 101 divided by x plus y plus z value is what? 1 plus 0 plus 1 means that 2. 50 point something will get. Obviously it is not the more value between these two. So that's why when do we get the minimum possible value? So this is the condition generally we take that for minimum and maximum values. Only hundreds place or thousands place or leftmost digit only will take that minimum possible value. And for the rest of the digits we will take directly maximum value, then only we will get the whole expression is minimum value. Okay, you remember that when this kind of questions are given for minimum and maximum values, the condition is what? So always the minimum possible value means that the ratio should be minimum, means that the denominator should be maximum value and the numerator should be what? Minimum value. And when you are taking that values of x, y, z, so this number, middle number and the last number, left it can be a 3-digit number, it can be a 4-digit number, 5-digit number, any number of digit. Only the last value, leftmost value should be minimum value, which means that minimum digit is what? Minimum digit is 1. And for the rest of the digits we will take that all 9s. For the rest of the digits we will take what? All 9. You got it? So this is the condition generally when we are taking the problems of minimum and maximum. It's a separately a different concept which is popularly asked in the CAT, ZBAT and also IITs. Okay? So fortunately or unfortunately, so the questions are asking for you. So these are the conditions so we are going to learn actually. So when you prepare for CAT or these kind of exams. Okay, anyways, so the condition you remember that when minimum maximum of this question, a ratio has to be minimum or maximum means that exactly you take the reverse. Exactly you take the reverse, right? Since he is asking about the minimum means that the fraction should be, here I write. But you should all remember these conditions. If you remember these conditions, we had learned so many concepts. If you remember the concepts, it won't be a hard task. Okay, so you have to remember all these concepts. So when a ratio should be minimum, when it is minimum, which means that suppose if there is, it should be what? It should be minimum possible value and it should be what? Maximum possible value. And again, suppose if there are numbers like x, y, z, okay, if in order to make it as a minimum possible value, you take this value is what? 1 and for the rest of the values we will take 9s. And similarly, suppose if you take that a, b, c, d number, so you take 1 for this number and for the rest of the digits we will take 9s. Okay. Same, suppose if you are finding out the maximum value, what you have to do is x value be taken as 9 and the rest of the values should what? 1. Okay. And this is a difficult question anyways. So answer is what? By the way, so final question is what is the number we got? 199. The final value is what? 199. Okay. So what is the difference between the digits at the hundreds place and the digit at the units place? Digit at the hundreds place means that what? 1. Digit at units place means that what? 9. So 9 minus 1. Okay. What is the difference between digit at the hundreds place? Hundreds place means that 1 and units place means that what? 9. 9 minus 1 is what? 8. So what is the answer? 8 is the answer. So the minimum maximum is difficult. So you need to apply that condition. This you can write same like the one of the questions we already did. You need to give equal importance to CSAT also. This all because of your seniors who wrote this CSAT paper. Most of the times they thought that CSAT is only qualifying paper. They neglected the paper. Later UPSC realized that and we'll see you. And again this condition is can be. Suppose if it is given like p plus c divided by p minus c, always be in. So when always word is given, it is the most easiest one. Only the problem is with can be. Always means that you can try for any numbers. So P you can take that any prime number. C means that you can take that any composite number. Since the word is always, you can take any number. But the problem is only with can be. All three are correct. Everyone please try it. Since can be is asked, you try for the different combinations. I told you, right, so only you take that single digit numbers, that's enough. No need to take the 2 digit numbers. You take that 2, 3, 5, 7 for the prime numbers. Composite numbers means that 4, 6, 8 and 9. Check it. You will get that answer. So tell me other combination. Which numbers you take for P and C? P for 4? No, P for no. So P is equal to 2. C is equal to 6. P plus C. P plus C means that what? 8 divided by P minus C. 2 minus 6 is what? Minus 4. Minus 2. Now you don't get any confusion. Okay, because you know that already negative numbers are also, for negative numbers also we have even numbers and odd numbers, right? So minus 2 is what? Which number? Even number. So answer is what? 1. First one is correct, and second one. Again you tell me that value of P?
3.
So 3.
C 9.
Okay, 9 suppose if you take that. So here 2P plus C can be odd. 2P means that what? 2 into 3 means that 6 plus C means that what? 9. 6 plus 9 is how much? 15. 15 means that it's an odd number, right? So second condition is also correct. Now you take the third one. PC can be odd. Same numbers we can take that. P is equal to 3, C is equal to 9. So prime number 3 and composite number 9. Okay, so P into C. P into C means that what? 3 into 9 means that 27. 27 is an odd number. So this condition is also correct. So 1, 2, 3. So all three are correct. Okay, if the condition is given always, then you can, so when always is given, which means that what? It should be true for any P value, it should be true for any C value, right? So then suppose if you are not getting the answer, suppose you can take that some random 2 and C will means that let's say that some 9. Okay, so 2 plus 9 is 11, 2 minus 9 means that what? Minus 7 or something. So you take one more number, let's say that 8, 2 plus 8 is what? 10, 2 minus 8 means that what? Minus 6, which means that we'll get in decimals. Okay, suppose if it is not correct, then obviously it is wrong. When the word always is given. Always, when the word always is given, then we will have to take any value. But only the problem is with can be. Can be means that, so it satisfies for some numbers, it does not satisfy for some numbers. Okay, so that's why you need to randomly check the numbers. But by the way, when you are assuming the number, no need to go beyond the single digit numbers. You can limit to the single digit numbers only, right? So this will be done in the permutations and combinations. So next one, and another important thing, this is XYZ and XYZ only. So for any choices of values of X, Y and Z, the 6-digit number of the form XYZ is divisible by which number? Which these numbers? So there are certain things which we definitely need to know. Like we did that so many things like that. We learn so many concepts. You always remember that. You remember every point what we have discussed in these classes. For any choice of values of X, Y and Z, the 6-digit number of the form XYZ is divisible by. So which means that a number which is in the form of XYZ should be divisible by which of these numbers? There is a number, you can take that any values. See, for any choice of values of XYZ means that you can take that any values XYZ. Okay, XYZ means that suppose if you take that 1, 2, 3 for XYZ, again it is repeated. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it is divisible by which numbers? That's what the problem is. Do you understand the problem? There is a number which is in the form of XYZ, and that number, any values you can take for XYZ, then that number is obviously divisible by which of the following numbers? Okay, one thing is you randomly take the numbers like 1, 2, 3 or 4, 5, 6, your choice. You can take that any value for what? XYZ. So XYZ means that same number is repeated, and you check the numbers whether it is divisible by, and we also have the divisibility rules of 11 and 7 also we can use that. 7 means that, let me tell you that 7 divisibility rule, and also for the 11. 13. Suppose if you take that 1, 2, 3, 4, something a number, how we check this means, you for a number 1, 2, 3, 4, you take this, it is a 4-digit number, right? And you take this one, okay? So just leave the last digit. So any number of digits can be given to us. So just leave the last digits. From this number, okay, subtract the number, the last digit you leave it, right? So double this number. 4 into 2 means that what? 8. So what is the value? 115. Okay. Now again you take this number. So leave the last digit and take the remaining numbers. 2 into 5 means that what? So again multiply this number with this 2. It is what? 1. Now you check whether it is divisible by 7 or not. Okay. And similarly, suppose if you get that number 6, suppose if you have. Okay, how do we take the number? First you take this number. It is a 5-digit number. Leave the last digit. Take the remaining digits. Minus the last digit. You multiply with 2. Okay. What is the value we get? 4313. Now again you take this value except the last digit 431 minus. Okay. So what is the value? 425. Now you can directly check that whether this number is divisible by 7 or not. It is not divisible by 7. Still, if you have any doubts, you take this number 42, multiply the last digit. So 42 minus 10 is what? 32. So 32 is not divisible by 7. And similarly, when you are checking for 13, so again you just cross this one. Instead of subtracting the value, just add plus 1. Okay, add plus. Okay, then you will get it. So by the way, I am coming to this problem directly. We will discuss it later. So directly come to this point. XYZ, XYZ or ABC, ABC. When a number is in this form, and you must remember this one, it is a very, very, very important point. When a number is in the form of ABC, 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 ABC or XYZ, XYZ, this is one of the most important forms we have. It is always divisible by 1001. It is always divisible by 1001. Generally, so 1001 multiple numbers will get in this form 1001. ABC, ABC or XYZ, XYZ. If the numbers are in that form, so it must be always divisible by 1001. I told you in the beginning classes that 1001 and 1729 are one of the most important numbers. When you see those numbers, then immediately you break the numbers into prime numbers product. You tell me that 1001 can be written as what? 7 into 11 into 13. Okay. So which means that ABC, ABC is always divisible by 1001. 100 means 01 means that what? 7 into 11 into 13. Okay. So ABC, ABC is divisible by 7, 11, 13. Okay. Any number which is in the form of ABC, ABC is always divisible by 1001 or it is divisible by 7, 11, 13. Okay, because we can write it in this format. So it is very, very important point. So everyone write it. A number which is in the form of ABC, ABC is always divisible by 1001, which means that it must be divisible by 7, 11 and 13. It's a direct question. So when 3 digits are repeated, similarly when 2 digits are repeated, so this is when 3 digits are repeated. Okay, then the number is obviously divisible by 1001, so it must be divisible by 7, 11, 13. When 2 digits are there, so here we put that 1, 0, 1, 0, but you don't take the last number. So which means that AB, AB number, say when a number is in the form of AB, AB, it must be divisible by 101. Suppose if it is in the form of AB, so which means that when 2 digits are repeated, okay, you take 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, but you should not take the last digits, which means that this number is completely divisible by which number? 10101. And similarly, suppose if a number is in the form of AB, AB and AB. Okay, now you write that simply, so you can remember it very simply. So 10, 10, 10, 10. Okay, so you cancel that last 0, you remove the last 0, which means that the number is divisible by which number? So likewise, when a 3-digit numbers are repeated, 3 digits are repeated, it must be always divisible by 1001 or multiples. And similarly, when 2-digit numbers are repeated, like AB, AB, which means that you take 1010, the last digit you cancel out, so it is divisible by 101. And similarly, AB, AB, AB means that you can take that 101010 divisible by. You write these points, and these 2 points are very, very important. Now, ABC, ABC or XYZ, XYZ, both are same.